Hey guys, what's up? It's TenneyBox here. Welcome back to another video. In the background, you have some stream gameplay going from Final Fantasy 15, the Windows Edition. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the first 10 hours of gameplay. I've been roughly playing about that, and that's within 2 days. I usually never sink that much time into a single game, especially within like a 24, 48 hour period of time. Probably not even. It's close to more like 30-ish hours. Within those limits because it hasn't necessarily been quite 2 days yet. But yeah, I am in love with this game. So, for those of you that don't know my experience with Final Fantasy 15 so far, I bought it on PS4 and I tried to stream it for you guys on YouTube, and it would constantly crash the stream, and I felt like I didn't really like Final Fantasy 15 as much when I played it on PS4. I gave up the game. But with the PC version, and I swear to God, I don't know, like, I seriously don't know if there's any difference between the two at this point. But with the PC version, I've become, like, majorly addicted. This has become one of the games for me that I cannot literally put down. I had to tell myself at, like, 3 in the morning yesterday that I had to go to bed to get up for the next day instead of playing. And even then, after I told myself that, I played for another half hour live streaming, which is crazy because I'm a night owl, right? And I always stay up late. I'm staying up late now recording this video. But for me, when I stay up late, I'm usually watching Netflix, I'm watching YouTube. I'm not really sinking my time into hours upon hours of gameplay. But here I am with Final Fantasy 15. And on Steam right now, I think it released like last week. It's $49.99 US dollars. So I was like, okay, why is it $10 less? I still don't know the answer to that. But this is a game that I would have paid $60 for. This game is fantastic. Like I said, I never really sunk too much time into the PS4 version of this game when it first came out because I wasn't really into it then. But the PC version, maybe I just didn't have like time back like 6 months ago whenever I played this game to sink hours upon hours into an open world game. But I'm in love with this game, guys. Like, I really want to stop recording this video right now so I can load it up. And let's talk about some glitches and bugs. They're very few and far between, but I felt like I would have to... I feel like I need to answer some of them, or talk about some of them, just so I can kind of help out consumers out that want to buy this game, tell you if it's, like, good or not, if it's a good port. For me so far, this has been an absolutely fantastic port. To talk about my system specs, I'm running an i7 with the GTX GeForce 760, which is actually the bare minimum graphics card for this game, from what I understand. And my computer actually runs this very nicely. It's at average settings, I think. I turned it down low for the stream just because it was hard to buffer the FPS. Like, live streamers and people that record, YouTubers know that when you have, like, a not-so, like, fantastic PC... Like, my PC is pretty great, but it's obviously a little bit behind. It's, like, I haven't updated it or upgraded it in a few years, so it's definitely not as far as it should be. As you can see on screen right now, there's this weird glitch. I have no idea what this was. I was actually really confused on stream. What they kind of boiled it down to is that I actually couldn't access that statue until I beat the quest I was on. But I sat there for like 30 seconds or something, trying to like... I was dedicated to opening that, to getting up there, because I saw the little marker above it. So that was one of the little things, but it wasn't like too big of a deal. I mean, I'm sure that probably could have set up another quest for all I know, and it's just trying to prevent some kind of glitch. In terms of crashes, I had one crash. Technically, on stream I had one crash, and I don't know if that's because of just random PC issues, or if it's just because the game just took a dump. Like, I don't know. It was when I got out, I was finishing fast traveling, I think, and I got out of the car and Noctis just froze, and then it, like, the whole Final Fantasy 15 is not responding. Which is fine, because after I reloaded the game, it was absolutely fine. In terms of loading screens, the loading screens in between chapters and at the beginning of the game are kind of unbearable, but at the same time, they are worth waiting for, because other than that one brief loading screen, it's really not laggy at all. You can kind of go open world, you can go into dungeons without any sort of lag. As you can see right here, I'm going into a dungeon And it does do a little fade to black transition, but I think it's just loading a cutscene if I remember correctly. Yeah, it is. Okay. So I had one crash, and then a few hours ago when I was playing, I had this weird glitch where I accidentally entered into first person mode while accessing a campfire. This is off stream, of course, so of course I don't have any video footage of it. But basically what happened is I was stuck in first person mode, and it was stuck in between the resting thing, and I couldn't do anything, so I had to force close the game. But other than that, those were the only two issues that I actually had with the game and where I had to actually reset it. One was the crash, and the other one I had to manually go in and reset the game because I had hit this like weird game-breaking bug. But, like I said, it was probably just because I was a little spazzy with the controller, and I was like changing perspectives while I was adjusting settings and like going to the campfire. But other than that, with those two things in mind, those were the only two things that actually affected my gameplay. There were a few laggy frames here and there, but it's after the first few hours of playing, that quickly corrected itself. Usually it'll be a little bit choppy when you start up the game, but that's just because everything's rendering in, and like I said, my computer isn't the greatest. So if you really want to know like if your computer can run this, just look at me. I have minimum specs minus the i7. The graphics card's minimum, or the minimal of what you need. Minimum, excuse me. And I'm able to run this game with like 60 FPS. It looks like a little bit choppy here and there, but that's just OBS. I was watching a few other streamers yesterday that were having the same issue. OBS, for some reason, has these random glitch effects where it like starts running at 20 FPS. I wasn't really having that issue too far into it. Basically, all I had to do is put my settings quite a bit down just so that wouldn't happen. But in the end, it didn't actually end up looking too much worse. The only thing that really affects the graphics when you turn it to low, in my opinion, from what I saw, yeah, I'm sure everything's not as polished and sleek as it could be, but mostly it was just like textures on like a thing of food or something like that, or something in a store. It wasn't anything really noticeable, and I was able to play the game without any hassle. And honestly, it was a great purchase for me. $49.99 is the retail price for this. Or not retail, but digital price. Is there even a retail copy of this? I don't even know. Or a physical copy. I'm not sure. I don't think there is. But would I recommend this game? If you played the PS4/Xbox One version, is that an Xbox One? See, that's how little I know about this game. That's the great thing I've found about this game. Like, I really only played a few hours of it on PS4, and I got like quickly bored of it. But with this game, I'm sinking too much time into it, which is fantastic in my opinion. But I don't know. It's just one of those games. I haven't been captivated by this game, or by a game like this, in quite a long time. And honestly, this is the best Final Fantasy game I've played since Final Fantasy X. I'm sorry if I'm gonna get. I know I'm gonna get a lot of like hateful comments because I said that Final Fantasy X is my favorite game. It, honest to God, is. It's the game that I grew up playing. It's my favorite game of all time, and this game is following closely behind it. The things I would have to criticize so far, about 10 hours in, I'm on chapter 5, I believe, right now. Some of the side quests can be a little bit tedious, but it's all in good fun because they actually reward you pretty nicely, and the leveling system I actually really enjoy. The one thing I really am not really falling in love with is the story. I'm not really feeling it too much, but that is not to be mistaken for characters, because I am actually in love with these characters. They're freaking awesome. I love the modern approach to Final Fantasy, how they are very much, it almost feels like it's set in the real world, because they're saying things like OMG, and they have cell phones. I don't know. Some people might not like this as much, but I really enjoy it. If I were to talk about something that is kind of repetitive for the Final Fantasy series, but it's almost like a staple at this point in every game, is that the storyline so far is revolving around summons. I don't know how the game ends. I'm only, like I said, about 10 through 13 hours in. Then keep in mind I let it run for like 3 hours on accident while I was away doing other things. I forgot to close the application, so I think it's technically around 10 hours I've played. But like with Rama, Leviathan, stuff like that, all of those are in Final Fantasy games in the past, so it's like yeah, that's a thing that's like a pattern of games. But I don't know. I don't want to say it's lazy, but the story-wise, like, I don't know, it's just not captivating me as much. The characters are great, though. Just the storyline seems to be a bit jumpy, and I'm just kind of going along for the ride. I'm more so invested in the combat and the character interactions rather than, like, hey, let's go save Lady Lunafreya, or stuff like that. And And also, I felt like characters so far have been kind of like dumped in without any explanation. Like randomly, this Oracle showed up. Spoiler alert! I'm not gonna like spoil anything about her character. But after this conversation, they had to like quickly say like, "Oh yeah, she's an Oracle, by the way." It's like, okay. In other games I've played in this series, they'll kind of build it up through like actual character development. But I don't know. It's a very small complaint. But I felt like some of the characters kind of just like appear and then they have to be explained what they are, or what they're doing. But yeah, I am in love with this game so far. I really, really highly suggest that you play this. Keep in mind, 13 hours into the game, I also haven't used anything in the Steam Workshop. I'm only on Chapter 5, and I'm, I believe, level 24 or 5 at this point. So, and it's not that I'm, like, trying to speedrun the game or anything. I try to do as many story missions as possible, but sometimes I'll actually get stuck, and I'll have to go do side missions to level myself up, get some gil along the way to upgrade my stuff, and just kind of balance myself out. I've actually had to grind a few times. There was one part I was stuck on in the cave. The combat is a little bit wonky, but hey, it's a little bit wonky for every game as long when you're first getting used to it. I think it's pretty great now that I'm about 10 hours in. I've kind of gotten the concept of it down. I've gotten like 3 or 4 game overs, but that's because like I said, there are a lot of higher level monsters in this game, and if you don't have potions and Phoenix Downs, you're going to be getting game overs a lot more than you're going to want to. But like I said, I strongly recommend this game. This is my first 10-hour impression. I'll probably be making another video on this because I do want to talk about a lot more about Final Fantasy 15 because I am in absolute love with this game. If you guys want me to cover more Final Fantasy games in the future, let me know in the comment section down below of this video. I am really excited about this game, so let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, I've said that twice, but like that's how excited I am. I want to hear from you guys what you thought about this game. Do you guys like the Windows version more, or do you like the PS4/Xbox One if it's on that more? I think it's only a PS4. I could be wrong, though. I don't know. But yeah, I would say that this is a fantastic port so far. I've seen a few comments or reviews on Steam where they're like, hey, I only played 3 hours of this, and it's kind of boring. Like, okay, first of all, you have no right to write a review if you've only played for 3 hours. I feel like I'm not eligible to write a review of this. This is why it's my first impressions. I've been playing for 13 hours, like, or 10 to 13 hours. And I don't have, like, a definitive opinion about this game. This is my first impressions. So I highly doubt it that somebody with 3 hours experience in their Steam profile has the audacity to say that it's a 0 out of 10 game or it's, like, not worth playing. In the first 3 hours of the game, I was barely done with the first few story quests, and I was, like, working on some side missions. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I mean, honestly, if you are a reviewer of any kind, I would strongly suggest at least play minimum 10 hours before you like write a review of any kind. At the very least, finish the entire campaign. I know this video is going to be a little bit different because I haven't finished the campaign, but this is one of those games where there is so much content in it that I'm 13 hours in and I don't even feel like I'm a quarter of the way done with the game. It's that crazy. And that's not even including side bonus content, like skills. I'm really enjoying the fishing and the cooking and the the photography is awesome. I love how you can take pictures, and I really like the leveling system as well. How you can level up the AP and stuff. I don't know. All around so far, I am having a lot of fun with this game. Like I said, the negatives would be that it has a few bugs where it will, like I said, it crashed twice, but that's probably can be bugged down to just one bug with the game, with going to first-person mode, and probably my computer just randomly having a fit for the other crash. But I don't know. If you have any other suggestions or complaints about my review or about the game, let me know in the comment section down below. I really want to hear from you guys in this one because I am very passionate about this game so far. This is the best Final Fantasy game I've played since Final Fantasy X. And I also want to say that I am very impressed. I had a really genuinely awesome reaction to it in the last stream that I did today. It'll be up on YouTube in a few days or tomorrow. Maybe later tonight. I don't know. But I found out that you can visit shops and you can buy old CD tracks or audio tracks of every soundtrack of every previous Final Fantasy game. So I was rocking out on stream to the Final Fantasy X soundtrack, and I was having a blast. And also, just a small detail, you can order an MP3 player in the game, but not obviously like DLC or anything. Like straight up, you can pay like 100 gil for a MP3 player and play that music anywhere you want. So I was literally just listening to some Seymour battle music while going to fight some awesome monsters. and going on road trips. It was a fantastic inclusion in the game. And it's just a minor detail of why this game is continuing to surprise me. I'm still learning details about the game that I didn't know previously, 13 hours in. And honestly, I still don't think I have everything the game has to offer yet, and I'm really excited. I've had to fight a few of the same monsters here and there, but that's a very minor thing for me. Like, for every same monster I find, I also find a really new and intimidating monster. As you can see with this spider thing I'm fighting on stream currently, God, those things are terrifying. And they've really messed my crap up a few times on stream. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Keep calm and trust your instincts. Let me know what you thought of Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition in the comment section down below. You can order a copy of it now on Steam for $49.99. I strongly recommend it. Square Enix, sponsor me. I'm just kidding, but actually, I really want you to sponsor me. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep calm, trust your instincts. Once again, I'll see you guys in the next video. Maybe it will be Final Fantasy themed. Maybe it won't be. I hope it's Final Fantasy themed. I don't know. Well, I think we'll talk about some... I might make a separate video talking about the soundtrack to this game, because I really enjoy it. But I have a lot of things coming Final Fantasy related, guys. Thanks for watching, and peace out. Goodbye.